Hi guys, Tom here, Man City Fan TV. How are we all doing this evening? Um, I hope everybody's well. Let's see who's in the comments. Lila Viva Mahrez, indeed, yes. Hope everybody's well, by the way. After a very good result for us last night, Man City 2, Aston Villa 0. We're going to be looking at the player ratings tonight with other little bits and bobs. Obviously, with the news that Sergio's got COVID and obviously Kevin De Bruyne's injury and what impact it could have on the City squad in the next few weeks. But yeah, we'll just get back into the comments. Ronnie Beaver's on, Evening Blues. Hi, Ronnie. Hope you're well, mate. Dupe's on. Hey, Tom. Hi, Dupe. Jack Lee's on, Evening Blues. Leonard Lunder's on, evening everyone. Tom, hi here, Leonard. Hope you're okay, mate. Oh yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well. Obviously, a great result last night. Man City 2, Aston Villa 0. A tough game for sure, that's for sure. We made it difficult for ourselves, obviously leaving it till quite late on to get the winner. But obviously, we're going to go into firstly the big news of the day. Well, to be fair, there's been two quite big stories today. The first one is that Sergio Aguero has unfortunately come down with coronavirus. He tested positive, and unfortunately, it does put him out of the Cheltenham game, the West Brom game, and the Sheffield United game. Sergio posted a tweet. Let's get this up. He said, "After close contact, I've been self-isolating, and the latest test I took was positive for COVID-19. I had some symptoms, and I am following doctor's orders for recovery. Take care, everyone." So that is the man himself, Sergio Aguero, obviously commenting on that. So yeah, as it does mean he will be injured, not injured, he will be out of the next 3 games for us, unfortunately, and could be more depending on if he does return a positive test. Obviously, the guys get tested obviously regularly, so fingers crossed he will be back soon. It's one of those things. He's not had the best of seasons at the moment. You have to look at different things, and it's been unfortunate for him. But I did suspect that he probably would have come down with it after being out for so long, especially after self-isolating. When Pep said it was only going to be a few days. So that's your thoughts. So can I have your thoughts in the comments of what you think that is for Serge? Obviously, it's disappointing, I know, and obviously, like I say, he's definitely going to be out the Cheltenham game, the West Brom game, and the Sheffield United game. But who knows what will happen if he, puts another positive test back? It could be longer. So yeah, I'll just get back into the comments. I'll jump there. Sean's on. Hi, hope you're well, Sean. mcfcfantv. I presume it's either Martin, Chris, or Andy. So hello, lads. Who else we got on here? Dupe MCFC. When will Aguero be available again? Yeah, I know it's stressful, but the precautions and everything, it's disappointing, but we have to get on with it, and hopefully the speediest recovery for Serge, obviously, because COVID's not a nice thing whatsoever. So fingers crossed we can have our super striker back at some point this season. James Nelson's on, one of my mates. Yes, Tom lad, hope you're well, James. Noah Pearson's on. Evening, Tom. Are you? I'm okay, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I've been at work today. Very hailstony and storm weather, that's for sure. Charlie Everett's on. Hope you're well, Charlie. KDB injured for 2-3 weeks. Yes, I'm going to get onto that after I've just gone through some of your comments. We had to just jump there. Ronnie Beaver. It was a tough game on the good day. The weather was super. Last year we would have. Yeah, I agree with that, Ronnie. The defense has strengthened up so much since last year, and it showed last night with that back four. Obviously Walker got injured, but the guys Zinchenko came in and played well, so it was really impressive and solid from the back two once more. Sean says, yes, he is. Thomas Itor's on. Evening Blues. Hi, Tom. Hiya, Thomas. Hope you're well. Harry Kemp's on. Evening, Tom, lad. Evening, Harry. Leonard says, City have proven before they can wait titles, KDB or Kun. Yeah, exactly. I was going to get into that. Ronnie was saying, yes, Sam, I thought the same. Once he had isolated, then he wasn't available. I figured, yeah, exactly, Ronnie. It's one of those things. You can suspect it. There was no news on him. Sergio didn't come out and say, oh, I'll be back soon. There was nothing like that. It's disappointing, but the main thing is when people come down with COVID, coronavirus, you want them back as quickly as possible and healthily as possible without any casualties or anything like that. So yeah, fingers crossed he does his isolation period after having the COVID, after contracting it, and then comes back quickly and freshly, which is what we want. It's what we want. So, bad news, we need to buy striker. Many chances? Yeah. However, saying that, we've been scoring a few goals and we've been relying on certain individuals, other than the strikers. So, it's not all bad there. Harry Kemp says, I'm worried Aguero is in the past. Yeah, I feel like it's time for him to go back to Argentina, bring in Lukaku. who knows with that Lukaku? We talked about that the other night. Me, Martin, and Andy, and Chris. It was disappointing, but we'll see what happens with that. Why don't we go for Danny Ings? Abdullah says. Good shout. Arabella's on. Hi Tom. Hi Arabella. Martin says, "Hi Martin, mate. Hope you're well. Evening. Let's put some respect on Roger's name. Intercession in the whole league, 155. I know, Martin. He's playing really well at the moment. Really impressed. Really impressed with him." Charlie says, "Didn't we get 18 wins without?" Yeah, exactly. That's I was going to come on to the Kevin thing, which does move me on nicely after I've just said hello to Carl. Hope you're well, mate, and Dudley. Hello. So yeah, in the other news, Kevin De Bruyne is now out for 2 to 3 weeks with a small hamstring tear, which does obviously put him out and in contention for that major Liverpool game. But like people have been saying, I do believe personally that we've done quite a lot without him. We've done quite a lot without him. You have to look at the Centurion season, not the Centurion, the last season. We were quadruple winners. We got 3 of the top trophies in England without Kevin, mostly for that season. It's possible, and you have to look now. Maybe before we relied on him, maybe last season a little bit too much. Whereas this season we've got players like Gundogan, Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo coming in, playing really, really well, and that strong defense. Seals. We could probably cope with 3 weeks. Obviously, maybe talking like Liverpool and Van Dijk when he's probably not going to play for the rest of the season. That's when you start saying that's when the impacts are going to occur. But 2 to 3 weeks, we've coped without a striker for that for near enough all season. So I think although Kevin's a big impact, we've got the players to step up in his position and prove that we're not all surrounded by Kevin De Bruyne. Because that's what the other thing we want to look at. We're not always going to be surrounded by him. So yeah. That's the news on Kevin. I can't really give you much more than he's out for 2 to 3 weeks, and he is a major doubt for the Liverpool game. But fingers crossed, he comes back after 2 weeks, and he's back fit as a fiddle, and he can be the usual Kevin. Let's have a look. Martin says interception running, not sideways passes. Very true. Chris is on. Hi Chris, hope you're well, mate. Bringing Lukaku seriously. I didn't say that. I'd much rather have Haaland. You heard my opinions on that last week. Leonard says, Martin, all we need is Roger. Yes, yeah. I'll try and get through your comments as quickly as I can. James says, who do you think will win the Prem and win your predictions? I hope City win it, James, to be honest with you. We're looking in good form at the moment. Who else? Lukaku, no thanks, exactly. Oh, no, I'm going to pass that one, and Chris is already on the bandwagon. Who wants to bring Lukaku in? Block them. Yeah. Lads, put a block on anybody who's starting saying, oh, yeah, we wouldn't with Lukaku in. Hey, Scott's on. Hello, Tom. All right, Scott. Scott's one of the guys who sits near me at City. Hope you're well, mate. Charlie Everett says, yeah, exactly. Bernardo's looking good. Bernardo's looking very good. He's looking very good. We got Lucy, Georgia, and we're just missing the one of Tom's... Yeah, I went past. You're really funny, lads. You really are. Anyway, player predictions. Not player predictions. Player ratings. So you get me in a tiz now, boys. Honestly. Anyway, yeah. So, Man City 2, Aston Villa 0. It was a very, very good game. We played well. We had 69% possession to their 30%, which is a lot. We had 28 shots to their 11. People were saying it was quite a tough game, but 28 shots, 9 on target, 4 for them. We played pretty well. I must say we played pretty well. We obviously started with a decent lineup. Obviously, Walker went off. So yeah, we're gonna start with the players now. Get through the player ratings. We'll start with Edison. I'll type him in the chat. Edison. So if you could give me your player ratings for Edison. Off Man City Fan TV, we usually do go off Simon Bajowski stuff on Man City on MEN. Andy does. So I will compare his. So whilst you're putting your ratings in, he said Barclay and Traore tested him a few times, although he never had anything that was too uncomfortable to him to deal with. A 7. So yeah, I thought he played pretty well. He did some good saves when he needed to. He was brought upon. Fully says Edison 8. We've got Chris Baker. We've got a big jump there. But Chris Baker says an 8. Leonard London says 7.5. Man City says 8. Sean says 8.5. 8. Ghost Degrade says good save. Superior Being 8. Charlie says 7.5. We have got Eddie. Carlton says Eddie 8. Harry Kemp 7.5. Clean sheet, well-rounded performance. Exactly. He didn't have much to do, but he did well when he was called upon. Tom Bates says 8 out of 10. Bit to do. Did it all perfectly. Yeah, exactly. 8. Some good saves conditions. He was. That's Martin talking about Rodri. Scott Williams 7.5. Edison 8.5 from Dupe MCFC. Abdi Mohammed says Edison 10. Poof. Martin says 8.5. Dudley Lewis says 8. So we will give. I go from you guys. Simon Jowski says 7. A lot of you are saying 8 there. 8.5, 7.5. So we will give him. I go. Man City is me, Tom. Okay, Andy's on. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. So yeah, Andy said. What did Andy say back up there? He said 8. Okay, so a lot of you are saying 8. Especially with keepers, it's hard to get high performances. Higher rated performances. He's kept a clean sheet and done some good saves. So overall, we've got quite a lot of 7s, quite a lot of 8s, a few 7.5s. We're going to go in the middle, and we're going to say 7.5 for Eddie. So there you go, 7.5 for Eddie there. Now then, I would do Walker, but he was the right back. But I'm not going to go into Kyle based on the fact he only played 28 minutes, and we can't really rate him on that after his injury. So I will go straight on to Alexander Zinchenko at left back, who obviously came on for him because we had Cancelo on the pitch. So I'll just scroll down. So Zinchenko. Please give me your ratings for Zinchenko, please, guys. Let's get what Simon Jowski says. He says, whilst you're putting your ratings in for Zinny, an accomplished performance highlighting why he was turned to ahead of Mendy, a 7. I must agree. Zinchenko looked very good when he came on. He's looking good at the moment. I'm very impressed with him. It's obviously been tough for him, especially with Mendy coming back and Cancelo playing well at left back. It's been hard for him, but I was very impressed with him. So let's get into what you guys say. Ghost Tigre says 8. Harry Kemp says 7. He's okay. Dupe says 7.1. Lewis Yates, hope you're well, mate, and hope your family are well after the sad news earlier in the week. I hope you're all okay. A solid 8. Fully says Zinny 7. Andy says Zinny 7. Big jump there again. Abdi says 9. Leonard London says 7.5. Ghost Degrade says 8. Jack Lee says 7. Charlie Everett says 7. Superior Bean says 7. Tom Betts says 7. Ronnie says 7. A lot of people are saying 7 here. Martin says 7. A lot of people are saying 7s here. 7.5, good lads. Zinny doing the hard work. No complaints. I agree with that. And, and then, we can have a look at that. Zinchenko. So we'll give him a 7. 7. Zinchenko. Go. Let's get back onto that now. So we shall get on to the next man, which is John Stones. So we shall put Johnny Stones, please. Can you give me your ratings for John Stones, please? So yeah, Jamal Jurassic been in the air in what felt like forever in a momentary flashback to the Carabao Cup final. Other than that, he brought a dog quality that shows why he has become an undroppable from the team. A 7. Yes, it is. It is. He's very good at the moment. He is very good. Really impressed with him. You have to look at how much he's doing for the team. He's always doing well, and we're very happy with him. So Charlie says 9. Ghosty Grace says 8.5. Leonard says 8.5. Duper says 8.2. I love how accurate you are with your ratings, Duper. I love it. Abdi Mohammed says 8. Stones. Martin says 8.5. mcfcfantv Andy says nice one, Tom. Thank you. 9. Shane Sean. 7.5 says Scott Williams. Lewis says 8.5. Did nothing wrong. 9. Johnny Beckenbauer says Carl. 9. Stones, Andy says 8. I am unsure if that's right. It was good. Some point, yeah, it was a bit weird, wasn't it, when he kept running up down that side. So 9, he's been quality since coming back in. Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's been very, very good. One sec, I'm just reading a message. 1 second, guys. So then, on to Ruben Diaz. So yeah, we'll give him his score first. A lot of you are saying 8s. I think he played very well. I'd like to give Stonesy an 8. I think he played very well. You have to look at how good he is at the moment. He's showing true passion, and showing how he has stature there. It's really impressive with Johnny. So yeah, we'll go on to the other man now, the legend himself, Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz. So then, another full-blooded, completely committed performance to ensure yet another clean sheet. His willingness to scramble helps the rest of his defence to be calm. It's absolutely unreal how good he is at the moment. There was an important block at 0-0 where he sort of slid in and it went over, and Traore nearly got onto it, but he did manage to keep that out. What else we got in here for Diaz? Diaz and Stones 8.5 each. Yeah, we'll round that down to 8. Build the wall, Diaz 10. Wow. Ronnie Beaver says Diaz 8.5. Fully says Ruben Diaz, company successor 8. That'd be nice, that. Diaz 8.5. Martin says Diaz 10. Bloody hell. Fair enough. A lot of people are saying man of the match here. Diaz 9. Diaz 9.5. Yeah, that block was unreal, I must admit. Lewis Yates, that block. Leonard London says the best defender in Europe at the moment, 100%. 0 all round from me, says Zach Talbot. Obviously, not a Manchester City fan. Coming on here saying stuff like that. 10, he's Amazed Bob, Superior Blog says, Amazed Bob's, who else we got? 9, 9.5. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying 9.5. I agree. I think, Simon Chasky's a bit tight saying 7 there. So a lot of you are saying that he could possibly up there for man of the match. So I will give Ruben Diaz a 9 from you guys. I don't know why that's come back up. Give Ruben Diaz a 9. There we go. So then, let's see who we're going to now. We're going on to my main man, Joao Cancelo. So I will get that on there for you guys to start. Joao Cancelo, the man himself. Started off from the left, moved to the right, Walker went off and frequently pushed forward. He was excellent at the back, showing intelligence and caution to make sensible decisions, and was also one of the best attackers. He was unreal last night. I'm sorry for people who were saying that he wasn't good. The fact that he played left back looked comfortable for the first 30 minutes and then went to right back and was creating so many chances. Was very, very impressive from Joao. Harry Kemp says 8. Duper says 7.4. Leonard London says 8. We have got Andy saying 4.5. I have to show all the comments and its opinions. But yeah, Sean Fogarty 8. Cancelo 7.5 says Ronnie Beaver. Brilliant, says Carl. Joao played 3 positions. Perfect pet players 9. 7.5. 2 unlucky shots defending, needs sharpening up. Yeah. Sorry, but his defending wasn't that great. I completely understand that, guys. I understand where people are coming from, but you have to look at certain positions last night. He made some good tackles. He did make some good tackles. Obviously, he's not going to be perfect. If he works on that defensive if he works on his defensive side, he can definitely get better. But he did play well. Martin says him and Zinni need to remember to defend. Yeah, I agree with that, Martin. Yeah, that's the only sort of downside on Cancelo. But when he does get back, it's 70% of the time he does get the tackle in and, get it clear. Pads Players says 8.5, been impressed with him recently. I'm always impressed with him, Pads. Not going to lie to you, but, he's my favourite player. He's a good lad. And he's laughing at it. He says he was an 8. Fair enough. We'll allow that. Who we got here? Luke Howarth, one of my mates. Hope you well, Luke. Says 7. Liverpool fan as well. Bloody hell. Giving us a decent score there. Dudley Lewis says 8. Chris Baker says Cancelo was great last night. Needs to work on his finishing. He defended well last night. Yeah, Chris. His finishing was a little bit dodgy. If he can finish them 2 shots, if he's more accurate with them, he can put them away and score. And if he can get a few more goals, that could come vital for us. So soon as he gets that defending sorted, we can sort of look at that. But yeah, a lot of people are saying 8s. I can understand why. He's definitely not up to the Diaz level. I was just having he did get man of the match from the Premier League. I was just having a joke in the comments last night saying he was my man of the match because there was obviously other players better out there. I do believe Diaz was better performance-wise overall last night. So I will give the main man, in my opinion, Joao Cancelo, an 8. But yeah, Joao, he's really impressing. Really impressed with him at the moment. I'm impressed with a lot of players, but obviously, as you know, the defence is the key point at the moment. We're doing really, really well. You have to look at since last season, like people were saying, we've probably lost that game last night. It would have been one of those typical City games, like that Wolves game, where we waited to the last 10 minutes and just gave it away, or, something like that, or had a goals lead. It was one of those tough games, but we pushed through and got 2 goals. So now we're going on to... This is probably going to be the biggest debate of the night. People arguing if he's good or not. We're going on to Rodrigo, also known as Rodri. So, Zabajowski says, an early header to put it on the plate for Bernardo set the tone for a useful performance where he looked to get the team playing quickly on the front foot as often as possible. He got a 7. Let's have a look. What are your opinions on Rodri? That's what Dupe is saying here. Wow, Tom talked about Cancelo for 7 minutes and 1 minute. I didn't talk about Cancelo for 1 minute, for 7 minutes. I equal it out. I was just saying how he changed positions. There was a little bit more that happened to him position-wise yesterday. Carl says, Rodri, 8. Duper says, 9.3. The goal from Bernardo was superb. It was indeed. Pep making Rodri like biscuits in Barca. 8, yeah, he is. Yeah, 100%. He's coming a very good player. 8.5 says Sean. Roger says, Carl says 8. 9 says Scott Williams. Martin says the point I'm making to defend first, not go bombing forward on the wing. Nice runs, but the job is to defend for me. I completely agree, Martin. I understand that. He's a bit more of a wing back, but we can understand. Both. I understand. They're there to defend. I completely get that. Mark the Blue says 8. Who else we got here? Jeffrey Stunner says 9 for Rodri, top class, into put a foot wrong. No, very true. 6.5 says Chris. Andy says Rodri 5 first half, 7 second half. Yeah, it was a great assist. Martin says 9. Leonard says 9. Let's have a look. Kuti Rajat says 7.5, lost the ball multiple times. Good assist, game was okay. Chill your boots, dude. Jack Lee says 8. Rodri, 9, extra point. Media's P. Right, 100%, but it was a legal goal. Check the rules. So, everybody, I wouldn't say he was good as Cancelo. I wouldn't say he was better than Diaz. So, I think the fair sort of way we can sort of give him I'd probably give him... It's a tough one, really, because a lot of people are saying 8s. So I will, to keep it consistent, because he did actually play, he did play very well, I will give Rodri an 8. That's an 8 for Rodri. Let's have a look. Now then, we're moving on to the main man, Silky Ilkay Gundogan. Another brilliant performance from him last night. He was very sharp, he was brilliant. I was really impressed with him once more. So very good, Simon says, nipping into disperses Villa players and pushing on with confidence and style. Denied by a superb bob by Mings in the second half, but got himself a goal via a penalty late on, a 7. Gundogan was very impressive for me once more last night. He's looking so good at the moment. I'm just really impressed with him. He's the main man. In that midfield bar Kevin at the moment. Ghost D-Grade says 8. Chris says 7. Scott Williams says 8. Leonard says 9.5. Fully Naresh Kumar says Gundo 8. Should always take penalties, not Sterling. Yeah, I agree. Gundogan is probably going to be one of the penalty takers now. German as well. Everybody always told me that Germans were the best at taking penalties. So we'll see what happens with that. We will see what happens with that. Ghost Egress missed 2 big chances. Yeah, but you know, he did miss 2 very big chances. But a lot of the players last night missed a lot of chances. You know, yeah, like I said earlier, you had 28 total shots. You know, they were defending for their lives the majority of the game. They were defending for their lives. Duper says Gundogan 8 point. Yeah, honestly, I can't. I 8.65. Honestly, Martin says Gundogan 7. Carl says 8. Ronnie says 8.5. Mark the Blue says 9. Andy says Ilke 8, but because of that miss 7. Yeah, I agree. Probably, you know, it was a shocking miss, but you know, Chris Baker says for CDM he doesn't do it. Yeah, we're going back on the Rodri. We're gonna quite skip that because we might talk about Rodri in a bit. 9.5 for Sean. 8.5 for Gundo, says J Fresh Stunner. The man says Gundogan 8 could have scored a couple of goals. Yeah, he could have done. Gundogan 9 says Superior Being. Dupe's putting his weird numbers in again. Deal with it, Tom. I will deal with it. I did pass maths at GCSE, so I will be all right with that, Dupe. Don't worry. Hi, Kurt. Hope you're well, mate. 8 for Gundo. Yeah. So we're sort of looking overall here. A lot of people are saying, what's Leonard just say here before I move on? Gundogan perseverance in the second half galvanised the whole team. Yeah. Cameron McIndoe says Villa were robbed, though they weren't. Just have to look at the Premier League rules, and then you'll see that it was a clear goal. Anyway, moving on. So we'll give him a score. Personally, I think he played very well. Can we say he was good as Rodri? Yes. Can we say he was good as Cancelo? Yes. So therefore, I will give Ilkay Gundogan an 8. So there is the 8 for Gundogan. You know, he's a good player at the moment. You know, he's playing really well. We'll give Gundogan an 8. You know, consistency is key. And, you know, when players are playing well, especially, you know, you have to give them a good rating. And by the guys, what you guys have been saying, the majority you were saying 8s and 7s. So we'll round it up to 8, bearing in mind he scored a goal. Moving on to the next man. Obviously disappointing. He's not going to be with us for the next 2 to 3 weeks. But we are going to work. We're going to rate Kevin De Bruyne. And whilst you're putting them in, Andy says, I'm John Moss, Dean Smith. I'll go shouting to Tom. I'll give you a red. Thank you very much, Andy. That is brilliant news. But the only time I'll actually respect someone actually saying the John Moss because they're helping me out. So that's all good. So Simon Majowski says his corners caused all sorts of trouble in the first half and looked in the mood before tiring and seemingly picking up an injury. The one player City don't really need to be out for long. Exactly. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. We've grasped that. He looked a bit rusty. He looked tired. And I do believe that he probably, because of how many games he's played recently, is the reason for that muscular injury with many players at the moment. Ghost D grade 7.5 for Kevin De Bruyne. Duper says De Bruyne 6 bang average. Sean says 6. Oh, we got a big jump there. Let's go. Andy says 7.5. Chris Baker 7.5. All the hosts in a line here. KDB 7.5. We're all consistent on Man City Fan TV with 7.5s. Fully Naresh Kumar says KDB 7. Looks very tired. Should have not played the Birmingham game. Exactly. But, you know, when you're playing on all 4 fronts, you know, we're going for every single cup. You know, it was important to get the goals. Jack Lee says 7. 6.5 for Kev. Kotaf Rajat says 8.5. Leonard says 7. Scott Williams 6.5. Let's have a look. Kurt 8.5 for the God. Fair enough. KDB 8. The Daleman 7.5. Someone says 3. Oh wow. The Liverpool fans come back in him now. Mark the Blue 7. Let's have a look. Who else we got here? Was that a chill back chatting to the ref? Oh, brilliant. Mark Blue says 7. I probably just brought that up. King Kev says Pads Players. King Kev 7.5. The things of us. Yeah, very true. Grealish late tackle caused that muscular tear for the same marker. Carlton J KDB 7. Yeah, probably so. But yeah, overall, you know, he did go off early. You know, he did look a little bit tired. I will give Kevin De Bruyne a 7. So Kevin De Bruyne is a 7 for last night's performance. Hopefully he's back within those 2 to 3 weeks and in time, fully fit for the big game at Liverpool. Moving on to Bernardo Silva. I will just put that into the chat. Bernardo, let's see what you guys are saying about Bernardo Silva. I'll get you in the comments, but first we'll go to Simon Bajowski and his rating. He says, Mr. Sitter in the opening minutes, but ran really well with the ball, often picking up deep and careering through the Villa lines. A brilliant goal to break through the deadlock, reminiscent of the Old Trafford in 2018 and 8. I must agree with that. Andy says in a 7. Ghost Grade says 8. Koji Farajat says 8.5. Chris says 7.5. Leonard says 9.5. Superior says Greeley dirty. Yes. Kurt says 7.5. Form is getting there. It is, Kurt. Yeah, definitely. Like we were saying the other week, he's starting to get back to that 2018-19 Bernardo, which is great to see. Daleman says Bernardo 8. Ronnie Beaver says Bum and Gum 9. My man of the match. He was very impressive on it. He was very, very good. Sean Fogarty 8.5. Let's have a look. Dupe says 7.5. Jack Lee says 8. Criminally underrated. He is. Scott Williams says 6, but extra point for the goal. Upgrade to a 7. Fair enough. Bernardo 5 overall for bombs, but great goal. 7. Fair enough. Andy Milne says 7. Bernardo says 7. 8. Sorry. Bernardo 8 says Carlton. Superior says 7.5. Mark the Blue, 8.5. Harry Kane, paper event. Jiresha Stunner says 8. It's a difficult one for Bernardo. He did play well, but he did miss a big chance. It's one of them. But we will say, was he Diaz's level for the full game? No. Was he any worse than Rodri Cancelo? No. So I will give Bernardo Silva an 8. He did play well. He got the goal, and he is starting to get form back now. It's very important to see. I think that's going in the chat. Has it? Yeah, there it is. I think, it's important to notice that, Bernardo's come back in and he is making an impact now. It is really an impact. I'm really impressed with him at the moment. Moving on to the next man, who I imagine, if anything like Simon Jasky, in my opinions, he probably is going to get one of the lowest scores of the evening. Not his night. The right wing often suits him, but he was matched by Matt Targett, who I must say played very well. Matt Targett. It didn't look like we were going to score before he went off, and he was unable to add anything productive to the attack or being as involved as he would like. Very true. Very, very true. And it was disappointing to see he wasn't involved whatsoever, really. And he kept losing the ball as well, which was very stressful because, we've seen a little bit of form with that free kick against Crystal Palace. And then obviously now, it's disappointing. Leonard London 6. Chris Baker 4. 6.5 says Koji Rajat. Andy says 6. Kurt says 6. Sterling 5 says fully. Who else we got here? Diving Merchant 2, apparently. Oh, okay. Scott Williams 6. Sterling 4.5 says Dupe. Fair enough. Sean Fogarty 7. Sterling 6 says the Dale Man. Superior Being says 5. Slight improvement from Raheem says Blacky Eye. A mighty 2. I'm true, but good lad. Ronnie Beaver says Sterling 4. Needs a rest. Not even on the bench. Yeah. Carl says Sterling 6. Mark the Blue says 5. Superior Blue says lack of quality for some time now. Very true. Very true. It's been covered up with some good performances recently, but we can look at that. It's been shadowed by some very strong defensive performances. But when we do lose, Raz 6, not really get exactly very poor 6. So overall, I will give Raheem Sterling. It's a tough one because you don't want to rate him too low, but compared to everybody else, he wasn't good. So in the end, I'm going to agree with a lot of you guys and Simon Bajewski, and we are going to give Raheem Sterling a 5 for last night. I didn't believe that he played out of his skin, to be honest with you. I didn't believe it. I'll just take a drink of water before I go to the next one. It's hard not being able to pass over to anybody when you got a dry throat. Well, I ain't got a dry throat. It's just, when you speak a lot. As you all know, I like speaking quite a lot, eh? Andy says, if he scored a winner against Liverpool, you'll be celebrating like you backed him. Come on. Very true, very true. And as you know, Andy, it's not direct criticism. It's constructive criticism, as you know, with any of my judgments on players. It's constructive criticism because I know they can do better. That's the thing. That is the thing for me. Chris Beck says, water. Jeez, I've taught you nothing. Chris, I've got work again tomorrow. Friday night socials are different. Saturdays I've been furloughed at my other job, so I can have a cheeky beer. But when we've got driving big machines around like that, we can't be drinking alcohol. Can't be having that. Kurt says Sterling seems to just exactly. It's a shame, exactly. It is. We have to look at it. He's got some important goals in the past, and he is an impact player when he's on form. But every player hits bad form, but it's just a little bit more noticeable because Raheem's obviously one of the best players in the squad. Let's have a look. What exactly does Tom critique for Cancelo for? Never heard of it. That can be another time. Yeah, it wasn't about you, Tommy. I know where he's Andy. That's fine. But yeah, we can do pair. If I have a bit of time at the end, I'll just tell you how I ended up being fan of Cancelo. We can have a little story time, believe it or not. So we're gonna do. I think there's a few subs we can do, Mahrez and stuff like that after. Mahrez will be interesting. So we will do the last man of the starting 11 last night, and that is Phil Foden. Amajowski says City's biggest threat, regularly finding space on the left flank, and creating opportunities, doing more than anyone else to try and get a ball into the goal. He was very impressive last night once more, but a game like that was very physical. He was very, very good, and he showed that a few years ago when he first joined, his physicality wasn't the strongest point, but now you weren't able to tell the difference. He looks like a normal player and was giving Tyrone Mings some problems, I must say. He definitely was. Let's get into what you guys think. Chris Baker says 9. Ghost D grade says 8.5. Scott Williams says 8.5. Fully says Foden future Ballon d'Or 7. Any news on Walker return date? Nothing as of yet. As far as I'm aware, that hasn't been clarified because he was going for scans today because they didn't know if it was a bone injury or a ligament injury or dislocation in the hip. But yeah, I can't give you a time date on him, but I do know he was going for scans within the next 24 hours. Sean Foggart's gave him a 6. John Moss gave him lots of chances, said my son you of the Daily Mail. Shame he didn't listen. Let's have a look at that. There was a big jump there. Sean says 6. Kurt says 8.5. Best forward play tonight. Only Diaz was better. Yeah, I agree with that. Coti Fradget says 7. Had chances but missed. When did Joe 90? Peaky Blinders is class. Carlton, Foden. Carlton, I'm just calling Carlton because I keep reading. Carl, Foden 9. Leonard London 9, and he's the closest to Sane. Probably true. Foden 9, man of the match. Tom, please say Cancelo is a beast. Come on, go steer grades, especially for you because I don't charge for stuff like that or anything like that. Cancelo is a beast. There you go. Superior being 9 quality. He was very, very good. 9, he's class, says J-Fresh Stunner. Jack Lee 9, man of the match, always lively. Mark the Blue, solid 9. We have got Foden was chasing Matty Cash last night. Yeah, he was. Matty Cash, he wasn't as good as Matt Target, I must say. Martin will remember this. I'll explain who Lynn is, boys. Don't worry. So basically, Martin will remember this if he's on. Remember when we had a little pitching invader on one of our live vlogs a few months back when I was at my nan's. I think Alan was on as well. My nan came in the back and came in the back and started waving. So yeah, it's her birthday today. It was my granddad, who we all know, wife. So yeah, she's great, and it's a very big happy birthday to her. Although she didn't reply to my happy birthday message before anybody else, it was disappointing. But I'll let her off because she's a very popular person. I must say that she gets more happy birthday messages than I do. When it was my birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to my nan. Anyway. And he says, hello, Lynn, and everyone. Give Lynn a very happy birthday, please. Yeah, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. She's a good nan. She's very good. And she also has an appearance on Man City Fan TV for about 15 seconds. So, yeah, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, guys, for giving her all them happy birthday comments. So, yeah, back on to Phil. A lot of you are saying man of the match. Thank you, everybody. She'll be over the moon. I'll make sure she sees all these. Kurt, another lad, Nan, who's saying happy birthday. Hey, Who's this? Tom's #1 fan clubs for life FC. Happy birthday, Lynn. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you to everybody giving her the nice comments. She'll be over the moon that everybody's saying happy birthday to her. She's a good nan, I tell you that. Although, like I say, she didn't reply to my birthday message, but we'll let her off. Anyway, back to Phil Foden. I am going to give him, because I agree with a lot of people, him and Diaz were the standout players, so I think it's only fair to keep it consistent. I think he's higher than Cancelo and Rodri. I don't think he was good as Diaz, because I personally think Diaz was man of the match. And I think a lot of you were saying between 8 and 9. So I am going to give him. I have to bring this comment up here. Not that one. I'm back now. Happy birthday, Lynn. Yeah, Martin remembers. Happy birthday, Tom's nan says, Chris, happy birthday, Lynn. Hope your grandson got you a cake. My sister made the cake because I've been working. It was very nice, I must say. Happy birthday, Blue Moon says, thank you. Man City, bloody hell, Tom. We don't want to hear you. We want to wish your nan a happy birthday. We'll stop with Phil Foden's rating for a minute. My nan's more important than Phil. I must agree with that. Yeah, get those messages read out. They all are read out. And Pad's Play says, 8 says, happy birthday. Lol, Martin missed Bernardo's rating. Yeah, I'm lucky, Martin. We're not going back. You have to rewind. But yeah, Lynn 10. Yeah, exactly. That's it. There we go. She gets the 10 of the night, definitely. She got the highest rating of the evening, followed by Diaz, and then followed by Phil Foden, who I am going to give an 8.5. If it goes in the chat, 8.5. Preferably, probably, I wouldn't say he was man of the match, but he was definitely up there. 8.5 there from me. Lynn, 10 from me. Yeah, exactly. Lynn, 100.5. Dupe, where are you with your comments? How many decimal points and significant figures does she have on her ratings? Sean says, happy birthday, Lynn. Thank you, everybody. She'll be over the moon to see that everybody's saying that. You know, it's really good, you know. Like I say, it's been tough for her since my granddad passed away, but, you know, she's been strong and she's brilliant. So, yeah. We move on if we don't have any more. No, so we will move on. Seen as, here we go. Dupe still training with the kids, I think, Kurt says. Yeah, I think he is, isn't he? Thank you. Arabella's one of my mates. She says, happy birthday, Lynn. There you go. Kurt, we won't win. If anybody's watching from my household, send Lynn upstairs for a few minutes. She is at our house at the moment. She is in our bubble, and she's staying. So if you are watching anybody, send Nan up, and she can say a little hello to all the viewers. Let's have a look. Is that the third GF? It's the hat trick, boys. Yeah, funny. But yeah. Diaz and Gundo man of the match. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Here we go. Here she is. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Right, there you go. They all like you. There you go, everybody. You got Lynn. You've seen her. You got the highest rating of the night as well. I've seen a bit. There you go. Lynn is in the house. She's made a second appearance on Man City Fan TV, more than Alan has in his whole career on Man City Fan TV. And there you go. As requested by everybody, Lynn has made an appearance on this evening's. Brilliant, that. On the ratings. Everybody's over the moon. Look at these reactions. Hey, up the Lynn. There you go. Chris Baker says, Lynn. Man City Fan TV. Hello, Lynn. Andy says that. Happy birthday, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Carlton. Carl, I keep calling you Carlton. I'm sorry, Carl. Mind you, it's your full name. I guess people call me Thomas. Happy birthday. Thank you, Carl. Absolutely brilliant. Top stuff, Lynn. Have a great birthday. You know, say go, guys. I thought, you know, if they were watching, and they were, as they always do, I thought I have a little appearance from Lynn, bless her. So, Nan. I'll probably get told off for calling her Lynn, but because all you are calling her Lynn, I just keep calling her that. So then, Lynn, man of the match. There we go. So the man of the match is Lynn. Anyway, back on to the player ratings. We have got 2 players to go for. Well, when I say 2, I'm probably not going to do Mahrez because he only got 18 minutes. So we are going to do the second substitution who came on. And that is Gabriel Jesus. Let's see what he says on MEN. The signs of rustiness that you would expect from him in front of goal. A 6. Oh, here we go. I'm not gonna read that, Scott. You know, everybody who's in the chat will see it. She's not gonna appear from anywhere. Mark the Boost says Statue of Lynn. And then back on to the ratings. Sean Fogarty says 6. Chris says 6. Damiola says 7.5, 7.4. Ronnie Beaver says Jesus 5. Sorry. Code Thief says 5. Leonard London says 6.5. Scott Williams 5. Superior Being 5. Ghost Degrade 7 just for that penalty win. Yeah. Andy says, please give stream a thumbs up. Yeah, please do. And Lynn deserves it. Yeah, exactly. If you weren't going to do it for me, guys, do it for Lynn as well, Manan. Martin says, Gabby 5. mcfcfantv says, well, I don't know why I'm saying that. Andy says, Gabby 6. Blue Moon 7.5. 6.5. His header got us the pen header, Kurt. Yeah, he did. Kurt, he did. Yeah. Tom's number 1 fan clubs for life FC is Jesus. Poor, very poor. Through and didn't want it. Yeah, very sloppy, didn't score. Yeah, fair enough. You know, we can only judge him. Gabby underrated. Yeah, I must agree. Mark the Blue 5. Can you consider he was the same sort of impact as Sterling? Probably a little bit more because he got the penalty. But other than that, he didn't really do much. And, you know, when you're bringing on a striker at 0-0 at the time, we relied on 2 midfield players to get the goals. And that just shows you that, you know, there's still a lot to come. And, you know, the debate for Gabby goes on. But a lot of people... I just been distracted by CE1. He likes talking about me. Tom is really beautiful. Can't wait to see him casting the Peaky Blinders. Who knows? Maybe I might get it. Handbags at half time at Burnley. I haven't seen. I don't know what the score is, but I imagine Liverpool are probably claiming that something's gone wrong for them or something. It's a prediction. I probably am right. Handbags. It always is handbags, Kurt, when Liverpool are involved. You must know that, mate. You know, everybody knows that. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus, I am going to give him a 5 based on the fact I don't think he did any worse than Sterling, but I don't think he did any better. So with what you guys have said, the majority are saying 5s. Some people are saying 5.5s and 6s, but the majority of you are saying 5. So we will give Gabriel Jesus a 5. There you have it with the player ratings. But we're going to carry on. That is player ratings. And we'll talk about the goals. We'll talk about goals in a minute. My hat is better, Tom Hart. Where is your Kagul dress code, mate? I have got a Kagul, Martin. I will wear it next time. I have got a Man City Kagul, navy, with the yellow streak. Yeah. 0-0 Liverpool, Burnley half time. Interesting. But yeah, don't you worry. We will get the Kagul on for next time. The Kagul will be on at some point, and I will have the flat cap and the Kagul. You get your hat on as well, Martin. And then, you know, it's the dream combination, really. Zinke. Chris says Zinke, he got, I think we gave him a 7, Chris. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was either 7 or an 8. I think he played really well. Andy says, Tom has class, Martin. Yeah, I do have class. You know, it's a beautiful hat. He's got a Kagul zipped all the way to the top. This is, yeah, exactly. It's close. It's got a zip on it. It's a gym top because, you know, as a lot of the guys on here like to claim, I am the gym man. Tom, can we have a Lynn line stream watch along, please? We'll see. The fool in the Kagul. I won't wear a Kagul. You know, I won't wear a Kagul then because you'll have to think of something about a flat cap, Chris. Yeah. Anyway, Tim Smith, how's all in chat? I think everybody's good. Chris is laughing. Michael Feeney, hope you're well, mate. Says, happy birthday to your Nana. Hope you've got a great live stream tonight. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. But yeah, we can sort of look into the different situations now in the game. First of all, we're going to talk about that controversial first goal. With the comments have gone off whilst I just show you this image, and this is the goal. So a lot of people are complaining about this. This is the build-up to Man City's goal. Obviously, we know that Rodri was claimed in the commentary to be in an offside position. But the laws do state a player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately plays the ball, except from the deliberate save, is not considered to gain an advantage. And that is what you can see there. Rodri has come back. Mings has already taken the ball, and therefore, we do look and we see that it's a completely viable goal. It's a completely viable goal. It's brilliant to see that a lot of people are angry about it, because I don't know why though. Because it's the rules. It's the rules. In that rule, it states that Mings has touched it. He's tried to attack with it. He's lost the ball, and Robbie Savage made a very clear point. Kept it nice and simple. It's a clear goal. End the conversation, really. But yeah, we'll get on to some of the Aston Villa players' opinions in a bit. Leonard says, I just don't get it. I knew this rule since I was a kid. Yeah. Dupe says it was a new phase of play, and it's the rule. So people talking rules, starting, yeah, exactly. I think it wasn't offside. Yeah, exactly, Tim Smith. It's nice to hear from another, so obviously Leeds fans' point of view, opposite side, different side's opinion. A lot of people have been giving us hate, saying that we paid for the offside, but it's a rule. The rules are rules, We've been at the wrong side of stuff. Well offside, got so lucky, not going to lie, not complaining out of it, as it's Villa, but fully got robbed, they did. They didn't get robbed. They didn't get robbed. Facts, Tom. Nah, people are interested in that, mate. It's about cheating. Oil City buying the league once again. Exactly. That's all it's about, Kurt, innit? Unfortunately, I was reading Twitter last night, and I was just unbelievable. It's like I could understand if it was, a rule where it was, but it wasn't. It's a rule in the book, and it is onside because he touched the ball first, and he knew he was there, because you watched the analysis on Match of the Day, and it shows that Mings looks at Rodri before he even's anywhere near him to make sure he's not behind him. Leonard says either Mings shouldn't touch the ball or it stands. Simple. Exactly. Simple as if Mings didn't touch the ball and Rodri went to header it because he touched it first without Rodri being within 3 yards of him. There you go. It's a goal. There you go. And it was good build-up play and a great goal from Bernardo. So in the end, I was glad. Let's have a look. I love oil, says Carl. Yeah, we all do, because that's how we buy our trophies. We buy our players. It's not built on success. And our manager, he's a fraud as well. You know how it is, everybody. You know how it is. Honestly. Anyway, let's get back to what some of their players were saying. We will first start off. Oh, no, that's not that one. We will first start off with Tyrone Mings. Never even heard of that rule. Just let players stand offside, then run back and tackle you. In hindsight, should have cleared it 100%, but didn't even know that was the case. Nonsense. And then Peter Walton, Peter Walton was very upset last night. You'd think somebody had just told him some bad news that he wasn't going to be on BT or something anymore, because he looked like he was about to get really upset at the fact that it was allowed. But yeah, with Tyrone Mings, I can understand why. 1 second. I'll just get that back on there. There we go. I understand why he'll be a bit angry, but the thing is, he's agreed that he should have cleared it 100%. So I don't know. In the other hand, why is he arguing at the fact that it's been given? If he admits he should have cleared it. But yeah, Leonard says Mings isn't a footballer, overrated, overhyped. He is. He did put some good blocks in last night, though, I must say. Ghost Decred says, then what about Antonio when Souček handballed it and then passed it to the player who then crossed it to Antonio, scored, and the rest, there was a change in phase. Yeah, it's different with the handball and the offsides and different things like that. How can you know your job, Mings? Exactly. Exactly. Mings isn't. Yeah, there we go. We've done that one. Exactly, Scott. I think he's a good player. He did put some good blocks in. Mings literally saying he should have cleared it. Come on. These guys can't take prods. No, exactly. Like I've just said to the guys, he says he's accepted that he cleared it, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, moving on to the next one. The man who possibly might come to us or possibly might not. Jack Grealish. A bit confused with that offside rule, if I'm honest, but beaten by a brilliant team. Rest up and then back at it. And then Andy put, not the only rule you're confused with. Brilliant. But yeah, he's arguing with it, but he's also been, very high in the fact that, he said they've been beaten by a good team. So respect to him in that sense. But it's an offside rule, and maybe if you have a look at the rules, you'd be able to understand it. And now it's been out there once now, so I can't understand why people won't understand the rest of it. But yeah, Tom's on my fan club. Tomo on clubs over Mings. Yeah, exactly. I'm a defensive masterclass on pro clubs for anybody who ever plays with me. And I can guarantee you the 4 people I do play with are probably laughing into the screens now because they do start taking the mick out of me. Sometimes when I lose the ball, I give away a penalty. Anyway, though, Doopy MCFC says, well, Grealish hurt both our players, so you deserved it. Yeah. Leonard, an old school defender, would kick the ball far up the pitch. Exactly. And I imagine Ruben Dias would have done. It'd been interesting to see what our defenders had done in that situation. Personally, I don't think he'd have been able to get the shot away. But yeah, respect to Jack Grealish, but pissed with the tackles on Walker. Yeah, it was dodgy. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that, with the Walker one. Respect to, yeah, I've just done that one. Ghost Grade says, Grealish dives so much, give him an Oscar. Grealish, stay away from Man City, please. Yeah. I don't want him at our place. I think his attitude's pretty wrong. And he was always moaning, always complaining to the referee. But yeah, I'll move on to another person who had a confrontation with the referee last night from Villa. Once I have just read a few more of these out, Tom, I bet you're really talented at football. You could say so. Centre back this season, 2 goals in 4 games and 2 man of the matches awards. So I'm in good form at the moment, but we're obviously back off it. It's just about keeping fit and doing it for the team because that's what I'm there for. I'm playing for the team, not myself. So if I get man of the match, happy days. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't like to brag about anything like that, but I'm okay. I'm not rubbish, and I'm not brilliant. Somebody defo who I know that is saying over Tom. Yeah. Leonard London says Grealish and overhyped about. Yeah, he is definitely. Carl says NBC's sports in the US was so disappointing that we won. A lot of people are, Carl. Unfortunately, it's just what we get at this point. Let's have a look here. Finally, on the game. Villa and the arguments. We're going to go on to this man, Dean Smith. What can we say about Dino as the commentator on BT Sport, who I don't want to mention his name because I think he's a complete tool. Tool is the right word to use there, guys. So when I said Ake was a tool a few weeks ago, this is more necessary. He had a confrontation with John Moss. He got given a yellow card at first, then obviously said something else and was given a red. I don't know what to think about it, but it's simple as, isn't it? A decision's given with the rules and he's been sent off. He's obviously given something else. And it's obviously something else. And, you can't do that. The referees are there to be respected. And this new yellow red card rule is obviously there for a reason. And I know John Moss, not a lot of referees give yellow cards and red cards to the managers at the moment. In general, really, you don't see it regularly. So he must have said some bad things to obviously get the red card, but we won't know. We weren't down there, but yeah, an overreaction. Who knows? He was in the moment of the game, but we'll see what happens if what he gets, if he's actually going to be banned. I don't know how it works. If it's a match with a red card, or whether because he got a yellow then a red card, he gets just one, or is it free? I don't know how it works, but we'll see. Dean Smith is an absolute tool. He said post-match it wasn't even a pen. Exactly, I know. It's ridiculous. Says, it's ridiculous. Says the ones that goal line technology weren't working for him. And but, that's completely allowed, when that was a clear error. So it's not all, they're the only reason they're still here is because of that blunder with that offside, with that goal line technology goal. But we'll move on from that because apparently that was just a technical mistake and it was, lucky for Villa that it went their way. But any other team, obviously, it's not allowed. But anyway, Ghost Grade says, when he's such a clown crying in front of Dermot. Yeah, exactly. See when you got everything. Yeah, Matty Catch, Patrick Court. Yeah, Siri's just come on because I've said CE1. Most of all, I said Siri. Tim Smith says, bye all in chat. Be safe, please. Yeah, cheers, Tim. Thank you for coming on. Take care, mate. He's De Bruyne injured for 3 weeks. Dupe, as far as we're aware, it's 2 to 3 weeks. He has suffered a small hamstring tear, so we will see what happens with that. Cheers, Tim. Thank you. Andy says, massive fine incoming. Can't believe he didn't say anything back to me. He wanted to argue with near enough everybody last night, by the sounds of it, or by the looks of it anyway. Kurt says, Villa, the team that made Leeds give them the goal, but when Villa got their lucky goal, they didn't say all. Hate Villa and those Brummy teams. Exactly. Villa have always been a little bit, Dean Smith, 10 for me. My dad, City Chippy, says, fought Villa weakened when Target went off. Yeah, we were discussing this, me and my dad, during the game. Matty Target was very, very impressive. I thought he was one of their standout players, I must say. You have to look at their players overall. They were very defensively solid, but I did believe Matty Target is one of the reasons why I think Sterling was so quiet, because he did really, really well on, keeping Sterling quiet. And, they opened up a little bit when Matty Target came off. So, fair play to him. Very good player. And who knows, he might get a bigger opportunity at another club, but who knows? Did Villa really not expect to give away? Exactly, with all that blocking. Exactly. Spot on, Chippy. Kurt says, agree with City Chippy. A lot of people's Tom's on opinions on Lee Dixon, Tom Pal. So definitely someone from our Pro Clubs group then, off FIFA, because they know my opinions on Lee Dixon when he comments on my penalty decisions on there. Ronnie Beaver says, ref was poor, though didn't try to explain decision to Dino. Fair enough, yeah. Sterling didn't get enough. Target kept Sterling quiet. Yeah, he did. Tackled Sterling there every time, says Martin. He did, and he was very impressive. Flooding in Birmingham last night, says Chris. Villa fans had a big cry. Exactly. It wasn't Storm Christoph that gave the floods in Birmingham. It was the fact that we scored 2 goals completely in line with the rules. Birmingham says stopping all the goals. Exactly. Andy says, like someone said on Twitter today, when Bernardo scored, all they thought about whilst laughing was the Villa fans who were spitting on kids at Wembley. Oh, yeah, they were very nice down at Wembley. They were very nice, the Villa fans, 100%, honestly. Chris Dan Collins says, imagine being a City fan. Oh, yeah, walk alone. You're 4th, mate. Unlucky. Do play MCFC. Cheltenham on Saturday, exactly. The magical FA Cup, as, I said the other night, it's a massive game for us, We're going to a side, who were, lower down in the league. It's going to be a different pitch. It's going to be, I think we're getting changed in a bar. I think that's what the Cheltenham manager said in his press conference. We are getting changed in a bar or a lounge or something like that. So who knows what happens with that? But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure there'll be a bit of a preview at some point. So I am going to not go into that too much, but I am going to get Martin taking a huge game Saturday. Tom, don't forget, that's a massive game. You'll all look like Martin. You'll look like a fool if we lose it. Everybody will look like fools because bigger game than Villa. I seem to remember. Listen, it's a big game because, like you say, Martin, we want to win the quadruple. Every game's important. We're looking at how many games you have in the Premier League season and how many games you have in an FA Cup. You have 1 game to get through to the next round of the FA Cup. If you lose a game in the Prem, you've still got a chance to recover that with other results dropping in your favour and not in your favour. So that's what I was meaning. Because it's a knockout game of football, it's more important in the project that we're trying to build this season of winning all 4 competitions. So therefore, that is the most important game with the 2, in my opinion. But I understand other people might think different. But, at least we ain't playing Marine on... Marine's pitch wasn't great, was it? Andy says, Christian, imagine coming on a City fan chapel. Yeah, exactly. It's sad, isn't it? Liverpool about to go 4 games without scoring. Don't jinx it, please, Kurt. Please don't jinx it. Dipper's doing more. Yeah, they are. Sterling and Sterling's very poor at the moment when Harrison's doing incredibly at Leeds. He's a lot better all-round player. He's not as good as Harrison. He's not as good as Sterling, Harrison. Sterling's one of the best players in the world when he plays, but he's just out of form. Jack Harrison sat with a Leeds side in 12th, so that answers my question. That answers your question. So it's definitely a Leeds fan then, who's Tom's number 1 fan. Leonard London says, if City wins the Premier League, is 6. Yeah, exactly, Leonard. I know what you mean. But, what I was meaning was, you compare the games. You have 38 games in the Premier League. You have, at the moment, it's knockout football. It's a bigger game in the grand scheme of things. And he says Sterling is joint top. Yeah, he is joint top scorer. So he's just out of form. He was out of form, yesterday. If we get beat Saturday, then one of the biggest couple of shocks. Yeah, I know that, Martin. But it's a big game. It's a big game because we want to progress. You have to beat every single team that's put in front of you to win the competitions, whether it's in the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. Because the fixtures, I think we've got something like Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal within 3 games next month. So it's tough. Dippers in last 4 games had 75 shots, 1 goal. Tom for president. Biden's already got it. I'll have to. There's no presidency here, so I have to go over to America. Martin says he is Andy. Still crap last night though. Yeah, he wasn't good last night. Harrison creates a lot more chances in there. But it doesn't through. Yeah, personal stats are brilliant. Whoever that is, as a Leeds fan, but you're sat in 12th. So we're sat second, and Sterling's had a 1 poor game, and we can still get a win. So the fact you lost 6-2 to United just shows that you're not obviously progressing very well. Kurt MCFC says cup games are always big games, but we shouldn't have a problem with Cheltenham at all. No, I know that, but what I'm saying is, we have to look at it's a big game. It's a big game for them, so they'll be wanting to prove it's a big game. That's what I'm meaning, guys. City and Liverpool dropped bottling cups this year. You have to know. Superior Being says, "Gotta go. You're doing good work, Tom. Good night, all." Yeah. The fact you drew 1-1 to a newly promoted team, it's called the newly promoted buzz that people get. You're excited that you're in the Premier League for a few weeks and then you go downhill. That's what's really happened there, really. But yeah, we might have a shot. Yeah, who knows, Albie? Who knows? I'm a Leeds fan. How is this guy comparing Harrison to Sterling? Thank you, Noah. And what I was saying was I wasn't criticising you as a club. I was just criticising the fact that he was comparing, Harrison to Sterling. Martin says, well, Sterling went shopping at Target last night and got denied entry. He bloody did, Martin. He did. He got stopped at the door, didn't he? He got stopped at the door. I ain't got my bottle tonight, by the way, after very big complaints about the size of it and the noise it made. So that's in the cupboard, never coming back on Man City Fan TV, as requested by Andy, Martin, and Chris. But yeah, let's have a look. So yeah, exactly. So guys, I think we should I think we're going to wrap it up now. So yeah, that has been the player ratings and latest news. We've covered Sergio's testing positive for COVID. We've covered all the player ratings for the squad. We've rated people like Diaz, who were very good. And we've discussed the goals last night. And we discussed the decisions and the players' opinions and different bits and bobs. And we had my nan come on and make a special appearance. Chris, if you want to block him, you can block him. I don't know who it is. It's probably someone being sarcastic. I don't know who it is but yeah. Anyway, thank you for the continued support, guys. I'll be back here 8:00 next week. It's one of them. I love doing it, and I love being with you guys. On a first night 8:00, you've watched your EastEnders at 7:30, and then just in time, I get notified on your phones and your iPads and your TVs, and you can come and join me for an hour and a bit, which is nice. It's nice. Carl says, good job, Tom. Thank you very much, guys. Who got a big jump there? Ronnie says, Tom 10. Cheers, pal. Good show. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it, mate. Arabella says, thanks, Tom. Have a good night. Cheers, Arabella. Thank you for staying for the whole thing. Fair play. Seeing as you're a Liverpool fan, fair play. Scott Williams, great stuff, and Tom and Blues. Perhaps get Lynn on next week. Perhaps Lynn prediction. She might not be here, but we can sort something out. She might be able to make a 5-minute appearance on a Friday night social or something like that. Or when everything gets a little bit back to normal, maybe we can have a little talk with her or something like that. Are we keeping Bernardo? I definitely think so. Jack Lee says, well done, Tom, mate. Kurt says, Tom, top stream, Tom. Great job, buddy. Happy birthday, Lynn, and up the city. Couldn't have put it better myself, Kurt. Thank you for those kind words about my nan. Chainsaw is warming up. Great stream. We'll be back again. Thank you very much. Cheers, Blue Moon. I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Great show, Tom. Guys, 9:40. Yeah, guys, thank you, Martin. Yeah, the FNS tomorrow night. I presume they'll be talking about things that happened this week, and obviously the Cheltenham game as well. Check it out tomorrow, 9:45. It should be a good one as always. Noah Pearson says, great stream, Tom. Well done, bro. Thank you. Andy says, happy birthday, Lynn. Have a great evening and all the best, City Chippy. Thank you. Take care, Blues. Big up, Tom. And yeah. So then, guys, that is it for this evening. It's been Man City Fan TV. I'm Tom. I hope you've enjoyed it. I try and give you all my best, and we'll be back next week with a very interesting subject. I think we're going to be talking about next week. It's the halfway point next week, so I think we might be looking into how we've done so far. So come back next week, Thursday, 8:00. Get your opinions in, and yeah, we can talk about it then. So yeah. Take care, guys. Keep safe. And remember, up the Blues.